I did a foundation year when I first started at Chelsea College of Art and wanted to be a photographer, and they saw the way I worked and I clearly was very constructed in the way that I worked, and they kind of sent me off in that direction really.
From a very young age I was creative, wanted to draw, had to draw to colour, and as I became older I became very interested in fashion, garment construction, but as I kind of learned more about the industry I was more drawn to actual fabric construction and how fabric is actually made.
When I was at school I was going to drop art and design, and my parents said, why are you dropping the only subject that you actually like, doing business studies? And I said, I don't know why, I don't like all the non-creative, so it sort of developed, which is when I discovered the love of pattern.
I think textiles found me actually. I studied in a very traditional way where I did an arts foundation, and on the arts foundation you have a go at everything. And so I think it was sort of, it was something that I actually fell into really. I think textiles was my forte.
I currently have my own business. I'm self-employed. I decided in February this year to set up my own consultancy firm. I specialise in knitwear design.
My current role is Senior Textile Designer at Johnsons of Elgin, which is a cashmere manufacturer based up in Scotland. I work in the design office in London.
Currently we have our own business now called Sinclair Duncan Textiles. We make quality luxury cashmere, silk and wool accessories that go all over the world.
I'm a printed textile designer, so creating the prints on clothing, which I do 1 day a week. And then my other 4 days are working with Emma Cower & Co, where I help create 2 printed design collections a year.
I currently work with Emma Sewell, who is my work partner, and we've been together since 1990, and we design and produce woven scarves, cushions, blankets.
I work in the industry as a designer for a company called Alex Begg & Co. We are a Scottish woven textiles company based in Ayr. I am one of 6 members in the design studio, and we have our own in-house collection called Begg & Co, which we design for.
I had 13 years working for a company in the north of Scotland called Johnsons of Elgin, and I was the operations director there for 13 years. And so, working through all the different departments in a vertical business was a very good, learning curve for me, to understand dyeing, weaving, finishing, warehouse logistics, and held me in good stead for starting our own business.
I started off as a freelance designer, and from that I made various contacts, one of which was Jane McCower from Emma Cower & Co. I started doing colourways for her and researching trends for her buying trips, which she then, a year down the line, said, would I like to try doing some sales, which is the driving around the country. I said yes, and it's grown from there to the 2 design collections a year and a large sales area.
The managing director of Johnsons at the time, James Dracup, was doing a talk at my university, the Royal College of Art, and afterwards I hounded him until he gave me his contact details, and then I called him and I emailed him almost weekly until he gave me a placement, and then I got a 6-week placement over the summer between my 2 years of my MA, and they offered me a job just after I finished.
When we left college in 1990, there were no jobs. The industry was very, very lean. I wanted to go and work in a mill, and I ended up actually sharing a studio with Emma, graduating together. And through that, we actually began Wallace Sewell over a very, very long period of time. And we actually worked very closely with the Crafts Council, who helped us set up in business and helped us fund buying equipment and designing on hand looms, and then using the industry to produce our products.
work hard, say yes to every opportunity, and don't be put off if it doesn't happen instantly.
Network and keep in touch with good textile people, you know, whether that be in this country or abroad, because you never know when you might rely on them in the future.
I think when you enter this industry you have to come in with a very open mind, and although you might start out thinking that you're going to be a designer, there's also a whole wealth of other roles in terms of, you know, there's technical roles, there's sales roles, there's wholesale, manufacturing, all these sorts of things encompass the textile industry. So I think to go in with an open mind and not pigeonhole yourself.
I think I would never say no to anything. You know, when you come out, you've still got a lot to learn, and what you can learn from any job, whether it be a visual merchandising job, a small factory job, or working on your own, it's all things you can take away, and often one thing can lead to another.
For students leaving college now, the advice I would give would be to be as eclectic as possible and to do as many work internships, work experience as they can before they leave. And I think to be very aware of what the market is that they're moving into. So actually find out what the competitors are, and just be very open to suggestions.